everyone, welcome to another haul vid. You have to excuse me if I sound a bit croaky or a cough or a sneeze or sniff. I don't know if it's my hay fever kicking back in or whether I just got a bit of a summery cold, so I just thought I'd mention that before I get started. Now, this is my second attempt at filming this because it went very weird when I played back my first to go, so I'll try and go through this correctly. If I refer to something like I've said it before, it's probably because I've already said it before, but not to you. Right, I've been to the boot fairs over the last couple of weeks, managed to get some bits better than others, and there's a real mishmash of odd bits as well, some of which may be useful to other people. They're not really something I want, so if there's something, if I point it out and it's something that's useful to you, let me know and sort of PM me or put a comment below that if there's something particularly you're after, and maybe we can do some sort of swap or whatever. Anyway, getting to the bits that are more what I wanted for myself anyway. Deep breath. Now, I managed to pick up half of Omega Supreme, who for the most part what I got of him was in tidy condition. I have seen him more complete than this before, but people want stupid money because they think he's big. So if anyone's got the other side of this, or even more so the mini-con that makes his head, or the back flap for this guy, or even the clear orange bit for his shoulder, I would appreciate if anyone else picks it up at a boot fair or something like that. Let me know. Again, like I say, we could probably sort something out, but it would be kind of nice to get him. Even if I don't get the mini-con head, I've got a Fatimus Prime somewhere, so you can go in a bit like a Power Master Prime in the chest. But I thought it was worth picking up. This was in amongst a lot of stuff I got, which I'll show you some of the other bits, for £2, so it kind of made it worth it anyway. Anyway, so that's one piece that I do want, and ultimately try and complete him. Excuse me. Now, I did also pick up a few bits which are non-Transformery related but really good. I found a guy selling what must be his collection of Star Wars stuff off. I haven't seen him again since, because this was not this weekend, just gone the one before, so I'm wondering if somebody snapped up all of them as job lot as a dealer. It would have cost them a few quid, but for a couple of quid each I managed to pick up some really good Star Wars figures, not original from the first set of figures way back when I was a kid, but figures they never released in that series but were from the original films, if that makes any sense to anyone. Anyway, names escape me, I do apologise, I haven't really looked them up enough, but I do know that they're figures that I wanted when I was a kid, but they never made them. Now, the first one is a poor old looking thing, but he was a background character in Jabba's palace. Not Elephant Mon, because that was a different one, but I know he was in the background with him, complete with his weapons and all of his nice fabric clothing. Got that guy, really good figure. I was more than happy to pay that for it, because I know for when these came out they were at least a tenner if not more. Another one which was from, I believe, the Cantina, is this guy. Now this guy had them all packaged up, individually bagged, so that all the weapons was in with them, so it's really good. Like I say, more of a the way a collector would do it than just somebody randomly selling off their kids' toys. I got the white version of a 3PO unit, which was on Hoth, with a Hoth detector backpack type thing, really good. Another one of Jabba's guards, which again was a background character. Not sure if he was original or if he was in the add-on bits they did when they re-released the films. May well have been in the original ones. I seem to remember him being there before, but a great figure nonetheless. Another figure who's actually even got his base and a little tiny gun which does go in the holster on these figures, from the Cantina. Now he's actually got his name, so he's Hem Dazon. I wouldn't have been able to tell you that even in the past, because they didn't really give them names as much. You know, you had Hammerhead and stuff like that, but yeah, didn't know him by name, but he's a Cantina character, so really pleased with that. And another guy who appeared in the Cantina set in the original film. I'm not sure if it's the same guy who was knocked off his feet. I don't think it was in Jabba's palace, but again, one of the other sort of smuggler figures. He's got a removable helmet, but really good figure, based on something like the Rebel pilot's outfit. But yeah, really like that. And again, when I finally do get all my stuff displayed, if I ever get around to decorating this room, they'll go in quite nicely in the background when I'm displaying my original Jabba and the figures I had obviously from that period as well. So yeah, really pleased to pick them up. A little bit dearer than I'd normally pay for, say, a loose figure, but condition and the fact that they were complete with all their bits kind of made that more than worth it. Other than that, I did actually manage to pick up just a little army builder. I got a clone trooper as well, but he was only about 20p, so again, didn't mind picking him up. Always worth getting. More of the bits what I'm more bothered about keeping. I did get a movie bar. I think it's Payload offhand, something like that anyway. Turns into a van. Now I think the one I've had before, this guy had some odd stress marks, I think. This guy is actually in better condition. I'm not surprised though with the stress marks, you see these guys broken quite a bit, because his transformation, although it's automorph, it's a complete pig. So like I say, quite pleased with finding him. And I can't even remember how much he was dirt cheap. I found another knockoff little transformer from the period, little mixer one, hence what it's called Mixer, on his top. I think I've already got this guy, but again, he was something like about 10p, something like that, so I thought I'd pick him up for a laugh. Another one, which I believe is probably a GoBot, missing what I can only assume would be his head, which is probably a tank turret, is this guy, but the body and what is there of him was in good nick, so I thought if I do come across another one and the turret's there but the rest of it's a bit knackered, it was worth getting. All of his stickers are still intact and that, so it was worth it, and I think that was about 50p, something like that. Also for 50p, I believe, I found the body of G1 Starscream. By the looks of it, is a proper G1. Everything about it looks original, going by the fact I've got the other Seekers and I've got Starscream anyway. But I thought for spare parts and possibly maybe even turn him into a custom at a later date, maybe do something like one of the Rainmakers or something with him. But unusually his rubber nose is in really good condition as well, so I thought it's worth picking up for that alone. Anyway, no accessories unfortunately, but worth getting, I thought. The other really nice pickup which I got yesterday, now this guy had been picked up and I thought, well, I've lost that one, and the guy was saying, you got any other Power Ranger bits? The woman said no, and sort of like bloke hummed, and I'd looked at it, put it down for a, was it £1? I think it was £1 offhand. I managed to find a G1 Grimlock. Now A, he's not a Power Ranger, and B, he's in really quite good condition. Sticker wise, most of them are there apart from the Autobot logos, which would have been a giveaway what line he belongs to. He's got rust on the screws, which that does need sorting out. They need taking out and cleaning up, and the holes need cleaning up, but the chrome is pretty good on him, and all the transformation wise is fine. A little bit stiff apart from the legs, which are a bit loose, but again that would be sorted out if the screws were taken out and put back in. So not bad for £1. I was quite happy to get him anyway, so I think the other guy was a bit stupid putting him back, but that's just me, obviously. Now, other than that, I did get a couple of odd little bits off of eBay, which I'll show you as well while we're going through bits. I got a pair of fists for my G2 Inferno, so was pleased to get that. They're not a firing pair, they're just a solid peg type, so it's slightly different. And depending on how you want to word it, and I think I'm right in saying that Monsterbot Grotesque, I think it's pronounced, not grotesque, though it's a play on words. I managed to get his weapon for a quite cheap price, and it's in nice tidy condition, not sun faded, so pleased to get that. Still looking for his wings. I might try and pick them up soon. Be nice to finish off the figure, although he has got a little bit of other damage which I'll have to also sort out. Anyone's got any spare wings knocking about, let me know as well, PM me. Other little bits what were in amongst the bag of stuff I got for £2. There was a mask figure. Now I've got that guy, so if that's something useful for somebody, again let me know. And there's also a weapon for the Micromaster combiner sets, which is like the main gun. Again, if that's useful to somebody, you could let me know and I'll sort something out. Right, now getting to the mishmash of other bits. Now, oh no, sorry, there was something else. This is where it's getting confusing when I've already filmed this. Oh, there was also, I found a G.I. Joe vehicle. This is from 2002. It's the more modern Hiss tank. Not as nice as the original one, I will grant you. It's missing a couple of missiles at the front and another little gun what fits on, pegs on around it. But other than that, okay. Haven't been able to put any batteries in it yet to test the sound effects side of things, which would be quite nice if that works. It's got an opening cockpit up the top here for the figure to sit in, which is quite nice. And I also did get in amongst the £2 bag as well, I got a G.I. Joe Storm Shadow figure, which kind of works. You can sit on there for the minute. It's got like a little swivelling gun top and a little crew quarters bit in the back, which is handy for storage for odds and ends. But it's not a bad little vehicle in its own way, and not bad for 150. I wasn't going to sneeze at it, so just have to put it back down there out the way. Other parts which might be useful to somebody in this bag down here. There's a whole bag which was in amongst the mixture bag. There's some Lord of the Rings figures, I'm guessing Lord of the Rings anyway. There's like a ghostly sort of knight figure. I don't think it's Harry Potter, I think it is more Lord of the Rings. It's got more that look about it. There's loads of the cloaks. There's a damaged spider, but I have got the legs as well in there, so again if anyone needs that. The only bit what's missing I think is the other like clawy sort of attachment to his head on this side. There's a couple of the hobbits, one's damaged, one's complete. There's a white and blue figure. His arm has been snapped off, but I think if somebody's a little bit ingenious they could get that reattached, so he's not bad, he's near enough complete. Somebody needs him. There's all kinds of odds and ends. There's like dragon wings, again they're quite nicely painted, nicely detailed. It might be the case that someone else out there has picked up damaged figures and needs the spare parts. Again, whether or not they can be reattached, I'll leave that to your better knowledge of these figures. The same goes with what I assume are like tree people. There's both arms for one of those. Again, I don't know quite how they attached on the top, whether or not they're any good to anyone, but they're there if somebody wants them. Like I say, there's a couple of hobbits. There's a Sean Bean character who's been snapped in half, again whether you can replace his or repair his waist, but there's a big bag of stuff anyway. If anyone's into that stuff, again let me know and I'll try and sort something out. I'm going to pick the camera up and show you the other bits, and again if there's bits you need, leave a comment underneath or PM me. I'm sure we'll sort something out. I know there's a few people out there who also boot fair and who also collect other lines that you might like some of this stuff. Anyway, getting down here. Now, first of all, there's some Mega Bloks and proper Lego odds and ends there, real mishmash of stuff. Anyone interested, sort of let me know. If nobody's bothered, I'll just stick it back in a boot fair. There's a couple of figures I will keep, Indiana Jones and Mad Eye Moody. They're ones, especially Mad Eye Moody, because my other half likes Harry Potter. I'll keep that. I'm not sure if I'll keep the Pirates of the Caribbean figures. There's two are damaged, but the Chinaman, for want of a better description, and the Cannibal are okay. They're all there, and I think there's 4 weapons there, a couple of muskets and swords. There's a little diver figure, not sure what from. I did think originally it might have been something like a Starcom figure, but it doesn't have the magnets or anything, and it's a little bit bigger. So if that's useful to anyone, again let me know. There's a girl figure, which I'm not sure what from. She does have like a switch on her back, as well as some plasticine still stuck to her head, but she's got a rather unfortunate action. Less said about that the better. There are, whether these are any good to Ben for spare parts, or Wasp 23 if you want these. There's Bionicle sort of parts there. Not sure if that's Bionicle or a knockoff, whatever. And I'm not sure if these are the weapons what belong with them, or it's just coincidence they're similar sort of style sort of thing. Also these clear sort of things, what I suppose you could say they're a bit like a sand timer. Bit weird, but they kind of get the inkling they might belong to them. They might not, but Ben, you probably got a better idea about that. If they're any good to you, let me know. We also got, which I think could be Power Rangers, might be Power Ranger knockoff sort of things, some sort of shield things, what Flash. They've got that sort of style that they could belong to Power Ranger sort of things, but like I say, they might be from a KO, something like that. But they're there if anyone wants them. Sword possibly belonging to these guys, don't know. WWF base and like an armband or knee pad, whatever, something like that. There's a roll, like a bedding roll. The strap will actually reattach back in okay. Possibly Lord of the Rings, as with the sword weapon and the horn there. These weapons here I'll probably keep. There's a couple of Star Wars weapons and possibly G.I. Joe weapons there. And then there's a real mishmash of weapony bits there. I'll try and get the camera a bit nearer. Some of which I'll probably keep because they'll work with the G.I. Joe figures. Some of them are quite futuristic and quite good. One that I think possibly might belong to a Terminator figure because it looks a little bit like the endoskeleton weapon from G2, from T2. So I might hang on to that because it might even just work with a Terminator figure anyway. So I might hang on to that one. But there's quite a few mishmash, different guns. They kind of, odd ones ring a bell. That reminds me of something in a film, possibly. Sort of maybe a film tie-in figure. Not sure. You guys may know different. I might hang on to odd weapons like the axes because they might work with, say, like where I've picked up Gamorrean guards and they need a different weapon, something like that. Be a little bit more, I don't know, sort of customisy with some of the sort of doubles I've got for figures like that. But like I say, it's a real mishmash. If there's something you're desperate for which goes with a figure, it's like with these guns, if they belong to something and you're desperate for that figure, let me know. We'll sort something out. Or they might just be from cheap soldier sets, who knows. But anyway, I thought I'd show you those bits as well. Obviously, I think it's Paulie Poo Poo who collects, well, whether these are Gormotti or I'm trying to think, Moshies or anything like that, if any of these little figures are any use to anyone, again, just sort of leave a comment or drop me a line on a PM, and I'll try and sort you out. But anyway, that was a real sort of like mishmash. There's a whole other bag of real mixture stuff, but mainly it's sort of the stuff nobody really wants. I'm going to stick that probably back in the boot fair. There's nothing there where I'd think it would be of use to somebody to complete things, such as, I'll give you an example, a bag of like the old classic plastic soldiers and that, what you get in the bag, clear bag and that from corner shops, that sort of thing. Anyway, I think that's everything. I have got a couple of interesting little bits on their way via eBay. Not huge bits, but some nice bits, which I even managed to pick up a weapon which completes a figure, which I will show it. I will show it with the figure when it arrives, because I'm rather chuffed, because it's something that I've been after for a little while, and it's quite relevant to something I did recently. Anyway, with that thought in mind, and before my throat stops working completely, I'll say thanks for watching. Like I say, with any of the bits there, if there's something somebody desperately wants, or the bits I'm not so worried about, if they're Power Rangery bits or the Bionicle, if the guys out there who I know want to drop me a line, and if they want those bits, we'll sort something out. Anyway, thanks for watching.